So I'm leaving here now, the Premier Inn in Southport. It's lovely. And they put me here for 9 nights, okay, with breakfast included, which was strange. And this was the charity called Lighting the Life in Southport. And I thought that they really cared. And the woman in charge pretended to be really nice and everything, and she cared because she had previously been aggressive the first time I saw her in the hostel environment. Now, then she'd become really nice. But what they do today is they picked up my bags to take to Birkenhead. They're dumping me over there now. The hotel over there, they're just dumping me over there onto Wirral. And she's, so they want to get rid of me. And she told me if I come back to Southport, I wouldn't be put in a hotel again. Well, if Wirral leave me on the streets, I'm going to be sleeping rough in Southport. There's no way I'm going to be sleeping rough in Birkenhead. You're the bloody teenagers hooded with guns and knives there. Thank you very much. It's completely safe in Southport with swans and foxes and rabbits and stuff and open fields. It's completely safe at night here. It's cold, but it's safe. But I mean, the thing is, they can't stop me. But the thing is, pretending to be nice, pretending to help, and then leaving me, dumping me like that. And I thought it was very cold today because she came here and they just collected my bags and she didn't even say wish you well or anything. Nothing nice. It was just, right, are your bags because we only got 10 minutes. And they're taking the bags, driving them all the way, right, from Southport to Birkenhead, okay? But I'm being dumped with a train ticket to find my own way there and walk to the hotel, which is great, isn't it? But I don't understand this, because why they were all over me and now they've dumped me, because now they've dumped me like in Birkenhead. They've washed their hands. They don't have to deal with me anymore. But having to be polite while they were dealing with me, giving me false hope. I think it's really cruel. I don't know what you think, but it's fucking mean, isn't it? It's bloody awful. It's worse than Chester West, because at least with them, they never pretended to be nice, ever. They've just been horrible and wouldn't help. But at least they were honest like that. Whereas these are giving me false hope, pretending they were going to actually help me. And my mother had this dream. It wasn't last night, it was the night before, and it was so vivid that Mummy and Nanny were in the dream and they weren't dead, and none of this was real. I wasn't homeless and everything was safe and everything was fine. And nothing bad, and it was fine. And then they promised me they wouldn't die. Don't worry, sweetheart, of course we're not going to die, leaving you, poor little thing, thinking that. And then I woke up and it wasn't real. So I'm at the mercy of these bloody people that are just, well, it's been catastrophic the way I'm being treated. I mean, I'm being thrown from pillow to post. It's bloody horrible. Just lies all the fucking time, and I'm sick of it, because, I mean, telling me, like, they were meant to be getting me this thing. A woman in that office the other day was going to be putting me on some property pool, plus to find me a flat in Southport. That was the option. That's what's going to happen. I was meant to be taken on under Sefton, but Sefton doesn't want me. That's what this other one said. Oh, don't worry, they don't want you. They want to move you on. They don't want people in Southport. They're trying to move people on. Well, don't be moved on. That's what she told me. Well, I'm not going to, because if they make me sleep rough, which Wirral will, because they'll offer me a seedy hostel full of heroin addicts who will sleep outside because they won't pay for a hotel. I'll be back here, and I will be back here, and I will be back. I'll only be back here if I can afford it, if I can find Joe. Otherwise, I'll be outside back here in Southport, outside back here, but I will be back. I like Southport, and they can't keep me away from it. Oh, she's awful. So you should remember one thing. Your first impression of a person is always right. When you meet the person for the first time, that's the truth you get. If you like them straight away, you know they're okay. And if you don't, and then they pretend to be nice later on, don't think, oh, I judged them on, they're nice, really. You were right the first time. Your intuition is right. Mine is anyway. Mine is always right. And your first impression of a person, what you think when you meet them, is right. I tell you it is, honestly. Because, like when I first met Joe, I thought he's completely off his head, like probably because I am. But he's like eccentric and really wacky, but he was genuine, and I could tell that. And that's why I trusted him. Because I could tell that, and he wouldn't let me down. I've got to fucking find him. Will somebody please help me in Southport, Joe? Please give him my email and I'll give him the phone number. Or I'll give, if you contact me on the email, you can have my phone number. You can go about, and if you see somebody who thinks Joe and ask if it is, give him my phone number, please. Because I'll be back here, and he's told me he wouldn't let me sleep outside. He cared. Please, please, if you're in Southport, please. I'm sure you won't, because not many people see this video. I'm sure I don't get many views because I'm not a famous celebrity or anything. There's only a few people watching it. But I need Joe, because Joe cares. What they've done is worse than whatever Chester's done, to be honest. Because at least with Chester, they don't lie. You know where you stand. They don't care, and they tell you up front. You either go in the slum dwelling or you sleep outside. And they're honest. They just don't care. Here, I've been given false hope. I was made to believe that I was going to be staying in this hotel for months until I got a flat. That's what I believed was going to happen. And now they've gone under the table, kicked me out, moved me across to Wirral because I used to live there ages ago. And Wirral's got to deal with me, and I'm not their responsibility. But they've palmed me over to Wirral now. It's not on. And I know that they're inundated with rough sleepers on the Wirral, like Liverpool is. They won't be able to help. So they'll just say they haven't got the funds or anything to put me anywhere decent. You either go in with the heroin addicts and risk being raped, or you go on the streets. So I'm not going on the streets of Birkenhead. I'm not that foolish. I'll come back here if I'm outside. Good job they've got McDonald's 24 hours, isn't it? And different places like that. But until I can find Joe. I'm just getting worse and worse with people, to be honest. It's just worse and worse. She was cold today. She'd finished her duty dealing with me, and that's it, goodbye. Not actually asking how I was or whatever. I mean, I can remember like other like places or whatever. If you're like with them and they care with you, they give you a hug or something, and they'll just say, "I wish you well. It was lovely talking to you and everything. Keep in contact. This, that, the other." That's what normal people do. Oh, I couldn't have had a colder reception. But the first time I met this woman, she was as cold as ice. But now she's become cold as ice again. But then she became very nice. Because I'm a stupid person, aren't I? Let's face it, I am foolish. And I get lapped up by it. So I get confused then. Trusting, that's my trouble. I'm too trusting. But my intuition is good. And the first time you set eyes on a person, a few seconds when they're there, the presence. Not a photograph. You have to be there. Like if you're watching someone on TV, it's not the same. You have to be in the presence. If you're in somebody's presence, you can sense something, and I'm always right. I know it sounds weird, but it's true with me. It is, honestly, because I can sense the person. You know, like dogs and things can sense different things. I'm like that. I'm a bit weird like that, seriously. Yeah. Because I can hear dog whistles. I remember they did this test at school ages ago. I know it sounds crazy, but I shouldn't have been able to hear it. Something that they whistle and a dog can hear it, but nobody else could. I've got that like acute hearing. I can hear the owls at night out here. Anyway, so I'm just saying that trust your intuition. Don't be as foolish as me. Those are the wide words I use for life. I don't want to live another day. I want to go to my mummy and my nanny. I want to be with them, whatever mistakes she's made. And when she was bad, she was very good. Lots of times she was lovely to me. A lot of the time she was lovely to me. And those are the times I need. Those are the times I need to remember. And that's what it'll be when you die. It'll be like in that film, you know, in the film, the Steven Spielberg film, and that lovely little boy, the robot, came to life, and his mummy put him in the wood and didn't want him, and he was devastated, and there was a little teddy bear with him, and then he asked these beautiful golden aliens at the end of the film. They said, what did he want? They could have one day with his mummy, he said, a lovely little boy, and he did, and he was happy. I want my nanny and mummy badly. And the only thing stopping me from killing myself is the babies. I feel guilty. I know people think I'm insane, and they're rag dolls to other people, just cloth. But to me, they're much, much more than that. And I feel guilty leaving them in the world on their own. I feel responsible for them, even though they're not technically alive as such. It's just, that's the way I am. Probably I'm nuts. I don't know. But all I know is I'm misunderstood. and judged, and people are horrible, especially the trolls on here who don't know a fucking thing about me. And they just lie because they're judging it on themselves because they're evil themselves. So they're judging everything on how they think. And I don't think like that because I'm not a nasty person. I'm just being pissed about with everybody, and I've had a fucking enough of it. I have. They just want to get rid of me. They don't care about me. It was only my family that did care about me. And now they're just going to pass me over now to Will, who won't give a shit either, who'll let me sleep rough. And what will Will do? Will they pass me on? They'll just leave me. So I'll be back here, because I will come back here, because this is by far, if people are rough sleeping, come to Southport, because it's by far the best place. You've got loads of space here to hitch your tent. You've got loads of open fields. It's the best place ever. Definitely. And she can't, and nobody can stop you, because it's a free country. It's the King's country, it's Charles's country, and he's on my side. He's a decent human being, and if he saw me and we could get this to him, he would not have me sleeping rough. He would help me, because he's humane. He's a lovely man, because I met him once. I shook his hand in Wales ages ago, and his presence is amazing. He's completely pure. He's such a good person. He is. He's completely good. Prince Charles, well, King Charles, he's a lovely man. And he's got a soul. He cares about the planet. He cares about animals and trees and everything like I do. And he'd care about me. He'd actually care about me. I wouldn't be just a number, just a job like I am to these people. And that charity just shows what they're like, isn't it? I thought she was a decent person, and I thought they were trying to help me, but it turns out it's like everyone else. They just want to pass me on, move me across to Wirral now. Let's shove her over there. We don't want her here. Let's get rid of her. She's a bloody nuisance. Let's palm her off. We couldn't give a shit about her. But let's pretend to be nice to her while we're here, because we don't want to get reported. She's very suicidal. Don't want her killing herself here. No, we'll be nice to her once we've got rid of her. Don't care what she does. And that's the attitude, because I might be naive and vulnerable, but I'm not stupid. I'm not a stupid person, and I know how these people are operating, and it's heartbreaking, because this is obviously how they are. They're not thinking like me. They're just callous and cruel. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's just not fair. I just feel so ill, and I do feel very suicidal. And the last place I want to be going is fucking Birkenhead, for God's sake. You know what I mean? It's not exactly a bloody place to be, is it? Oh, my God. Can't think of many worse places apart from probably Flint and Rill and Mould and places like that in Wales. Oh, my God, North Wales is terrible. They probably are worse, because Birkenhead town centre's not bad. It's just that it's dangerous, because there's full of teenagers with guns and knives and everything. It's very, very dangerous on the streets there. Whereas here's completely safe. The nights I've spent in Southport, and they're trying to say it's dangerous. It's not dangerous at all. It's completely safe. The only thing that will attack you is a fox. He'll try and steal food if you let him. That's all. If you don't keep your eyes on your stuff all the time, he'll go in your bag and nick some crisps. He went in the bag, split a hole, and came out with an arrow and ran off. That's all that happened to me. I wasn't mugged, only by a fox. You know what I mean? And there's swans on the lake. It's lovely. Loads of space, people walking dogs, quiet. Nobody else sleeping rough about here. Nobody about. It's so lovely. Loads of space. And yet they want to move me on, get rid of me. Well, they'll have trouble doing that, because I'm telling you, in a few days I'll be back, because Birkenhead will just leave me to sleep rough. They won't give a shit. They'll shove me in some seedy hostel, which I refuse to go into. So I'll be back on the streets. So they'll say they finished the duty. Okay, we know how this operates. We've been there before with Chester. So I'll be here, and hopefully I can find Joe. Anyway, I just wish King Charles could get this, because I know you care. I know it's hard for you to get this, because he's so busy. And I don't know anyone here could send it to him, who could possibly send it to him, because I know 100% he is a genuine soul, that man. We've got the best king, the best person on the throne that you could possibly have. We really have. We're very lucky with him. He's a wonderful person. He's a genuine person, he is. And look at all the shit he's had to put up with, and he's put up with it well. And Camilla, his wife, a wonderful companion for him. A person that's had to put up with a lot of stick, a lot of nastiness. And she's come through, and she's done him proud. She's done very well.
I've never met her personally, but I'm sure she's a lovely person too. But all I know is that he is genuine. He wouldn't be with her if he wasn't, because he's a really good person and he would help me. I know, hand on heart. I've had a few people telling me that elderly people write to Prince Charles over the last year or two and stuff. They have, honestly. And last year, this lovely woman and man I met in Liverpool, she gave me a little thing to carry about, a little religious thing, and she was praying for me. A saint, a little thing, I've got it somewhere. And she said, her husband said, it's Prince Charles, he'll help you. He's the only genuine one out there in power that will help you. So it's King Charles. But I know it's crazy because I'm on here and I'm not a celebrity and I'm a nobody. But if this is on the internet, this is me online on the internet, please send me to him because he cares. I mean, I dropped my mother and they were still alive. And it was so realistic, and they promised they wouldn't die or leave me. I said, please don't die, don't ever die and leave me. I can't cope with it. And they promised, and then I woke up and they are dead, and I'm here on my own, and I'm homeless, and I have no other family, I have zero money, and I'm in deep shit, at the mercy of these horrific people who are just dumping me off onto more horrific people who won't care, who are in it for the job and don't actually care. And as cold as ice she was today, she carried my bags. I mean, why would they take my bags all the way in a car from Southport to Birkenhead? That's a long way. Anybody who drives can work it out how far that would be. That's weird. And gives me a train ticket and expects me to limp to the train, get off 2 trains and then limp all the way to the hotel, which I'm not rushing to do because I don't want to end up in Birkenhead. But it's not okay. I feel sick. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm putting it out there. If there is anything, the right person will get back to me. This is my life. This is not a game. Thank you.